Renee, but you can call me Blade. And this is the Oh My God Show. Today, I'll be talking about OMG, all in my head. Now, did you know that in the Bible it really states that there is a time and purpose and place for every single thing that is underneath the sun? Now, let us go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, and let us see what it says. Now, in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and I'll be reading from verse 1 through to 10, it says, "To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under the sun, under the heaven, sorry, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. What profit what profit art he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? And in verse 10 it says, I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. There comes a time in all of our lives when we have to learn to let go of certain things. And I hear Bishop Jakes and I guess other televangelists who say from time to time that there are just some times in our lives when we just have to give up on certain things or let go of certain things. And sometimes we find ourselves in a bind, so to speak, simply because we refuse to let go of things that God is basically saying to us, you know, it's time for you to let go of that thing. And I've got a forwarded email message one time in my email that says that some people are in your lives for a reason, some are for a season, and others are there for a lifetime. And some opportunities, I believe that every opportunity that we get in life, every experience, especially when we dedicate our lives to God and let Him basically be the driver in our lives, we find that we are able to basically make anything work, anything at all. Now, I am going to give you, I don't like to give personal testimonies, but but for this time, I think I'm gonna get very personal, and I'm gonna just let you know one thing. Let's see, how do I start here? So I'm gonna tell you the story of Woody. Now, Woody was my favorite piece of log. Now, this was just, well, many of us Jamaicans would just say that it was just a little piece of board that I got from a quote unquote special person. And I was basically quote unquote head over heels in love, I thought, or I don't know, but I really liked this guy, and he was here on holiday, and it was several years ago, probably like 6 years ago, 6 7 years ago, and I totally liked him and everything, and we were basically having the same, we were both spending our holidays like in the same location, so we basically hung out with our friends and his friend and everything. And he wasn't a Jamaican, so he found this piece of log, or this piece of board on the beach, and it was kind of wearing away. You could see where the water was kind of eroding it and everything, and he thought it was so special, and I think he was gonna take it back home as a souvenir. But instead of taking it home as a souvenir, he actually gave it to me. I was so touched. So I actually had this piece of log with me, and I named it Woody. So Woody and I basically became really good friends, and I ended up traveling all over the island, basically wherever I went with this piece of log in my bag or somewhere called Woody. And my friends, it's a total long story, because at one point one of my friends actually, I was basically obsessing over this piece of board, and my friend threw it at me one time and it actually burst my mouth. It actually went. I was in college at the time, so I went to college with my mouth and it had this burst. And anyway, I was like, I became the laughing stock of my friends' crew, and they were like, "Who you trouble now, Rene? Who bust your mouth now? What you do?" But anyway, I still had it for a couple more years after I kept walking around with this wood, and you know, and of course, this guy he left years before and he went back to his country and we spoke, like back and forth on the internet for a while. But of course, he pretty much moved on with his life. Let's just say that. But I guess even after that, he had gone, he had moved on with his life, and I guess I realized that okay, fine, that was just it. I was just a little thing, summer fling, and it didn't work out. But I still had the wood, I still had it, I still liked the thing. So I guess eventually, like I was in love with the idea of being in love with him and the wood. Or long after I stopped liking him, I still liked the wood, so I still had it for years. So about 6 years later now, occasionally we'd still be casual, and say hi and so on to each other on the internet. So I was talking to him and I said to him that did you do you remember this? Do you remember this wood? This piece of log that you gave me one time, X place, blah blah blah. And he emailed me back to say, um, no, I don't remember it. So I actually reminded him of the whole wood and the whole situation. He was being chicken. He was like, no, I don't remember. But, I guess if I gave it to you, then it must have been special. So you don't know, say. I finally, after about 6, 7 years, got the courage to throw away that piece of wood. You know, why am I telling you this? Just to show you that I'm silly, I guess. No, not necessarily that. But we all need to understand that there are just times in our lives where we have to move on, and we have to learn to not lie to ourselves. You have to face the facts, whether it is something that you want to know, or something that is pleasing to you, or something that will make you feel good. The truth is the truth. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to love, there's a time to have a crush, there's a time to grow up, there's a time to move on, there's a time to get it together. Don't be stuck with somebody who you think or who you want to love you, and of course this has nothing to do with that person, because I'm telling the story. So if I were to tell you the whole story, of course I'm gonna look good, so I won't waste your time. But it has nothing to do with that story. I was just looking back at my life and I thought I was just like cracking up um about Woody, and I had Woody for years. Of course, sorry, Woody is not here to represent himself because I threw him away like 2 years ago. So it's not even that long ago, 2 or 1 year ago. But I finally got the courage to throw away Woody because I mean seriously no. But my thing is, sometimes we are there holding on to things that God is about ready to say, listen, you know what? Renee, you know what? Whoever your name is, whatever your name is, it is time for you to move on. Let me take care of this, and I will take care of you. And you're still holding on to it, whether it's a sickness or it's a responsibility, it's a dead relationship that you think you have it together, and because you think that 99.9% of the relationship, like I did, I guess, happened only in my mind. I thought that it was something that I wanted, and I was cool with that because some of us at times we don't aspire for more. We don't put a lot of value on ourselves, so we are okay being the other woman. We are okay being number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just because this guy is cool or he's hot or he's established doesn't mean that you have to take second best or third best or no best at all in his life. Once you are a person, it's time for you to basically move on, get a grip, get a hold of yourself and move on. That's the whole thing about it being all in our heads. It doesn't work, because in real life God is gonna want you to understand that, listen, when Lazarus died, they had to get real with Jesus. They were like, listen to me, you talking about Lazarus to sleep? Lazarus been dead long time ago, you late. No, he's dead. I don't care what you want to say, I don't care which Jesus you are, this man is dead. Well, gladly for Lazarus, Jesus Christ was able to raise him from the dead. But we have to understand that, sometimes, you just have to tell yourself, Rennie, maybe it's not right for you, or maybe it's not in your destiny, or maybe that's not the plan that God has for you. But don't waste your life sitting around waiting for something that you and I both know not gonna happen, or something that you know not gonna work out, simply because you want to just, sometimes we don't want to let go of something that we have, even though it may be just a little piece of cardboard that's all decorated, but we think that we can't do better than that. And because you think you can't do better than that, then you hold on to this. when God is ready and waiting to give you something much more better if you just only trust Him, if you only just put your faith and your trust in Him. And since we're on the topic, somebody was reminding me today again of this story. In Jamaica, we say that we know why the wasp, it can't make honey. No, this is the story. The bee, they say, was teaching the wasp how to make. He wanted to teach the wasp how to make honey, but he had to teach him to make the comb first. So he taught the wasp how to make the comb, and the wasp thought that's okay. Then he knew it all and had it all and flew away. So now wasps, they are basically stuck with just knowing how to make the comb, and they don't know how to make the honey because they did not wait. I don't know why I just said that, but I heard it today in church, so I just had to tell you. But listen, we have to understand that just wait on God. Be patient. If God is bringing you through something, just wait on Him. If God is taking you through something, just trust Him. But when He says, listen to me, time for the book to dry up, Elijah. It's time for you to go. Remember that story with Elijah and the whole thing. He fed him, bread and whatever and quail, I think it was, with from the raven, and he gave him the brook. The water was there at the brook. But when it was time for him to go, the brook had to dry up, because if the brook didn't dry up, then Elijah wouldn't have known that it was time for him to move on. So all of us in our lives, we have our things that we have to go through, some of the embarrassing things, some of the things that's not so cool. And sometimes, thank God for me, God always provide girlfriends who I can cry and feel bad and blow your nose not in them pants. I remember one time I was crying so much over this guy that was soaking my poor friend her jeans, and I'm like, ooh, gross. Well, she was really fine and supportive. So for me, no matter what you're going through, God always provides something or somebody. As I say, sometimes when you're going through something and you want to get through, and what God does is throw you a pillow. No, you are right here, trying to get through something that is very, 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 important and technical and tedious. And God is here showing you a pillow so that you can cry or you can be comforted. But He's not the solution. He's not the solution to your problem. But for the moment, God is just going to give you something that you can just cuddle for a moment or you can talk to. But deliverance is on the way. But if you don't stick around long enough and you don't trust Him long enough, then God is not going to be able to deliver you. In my personal life, in my Jordans, in my mucks and valleys and hills and embarrassing situation and this and that God has agitate me out of and through, at every single moment, every single opportunity. And while you are going through it, I can tell you, you're not gonna be in the mood to be like, yes, next year, next 6 years, I'm gonna get over this. Next 10 years, I'm gonna get over this. Next 20 years, you're gonna be crying, you're gonna feel bad. But God always, always, and He does not ever give you anything that you cannot bear. So some days in your life you're gonna be dancing, some day you're gonna be laughing, some day you're gonna be crying over a death in your family or somebody who you love, somebody's close to you. One day you're gonna be glad because you're gonna be graduating, or next day you're gonna be wondering, okay, now I've graduated, now I finished my degree. God, where the hell are you taking me next? Because seriously, like, I don't know where my life is going. But if you just trust God and say, listen, my life is not my own. There's a song that says, and I won't attempt to sing. I won't attempt to sing, so don't worry. My life is not my own. To you I belong. I give myself away. I give myself away, God, so that you can use me. I am here. I have lived my life. I have a long way to go in so many areas of my life, but all I know is that whatever it is that God is throwing in my way, I know that God is throwing me a pillar right now. He can throw you a pillar as well, and you have to understand that in whatever you're going through, whatever it is, no matter how disgusting, no matter how embarrassing, no matter how much everybody be like, okay, girl, like you need to get over that right now. Seriously, you're still on that? You're still talking about him? Like, I mean, we're talking about the same, I mean, you're still on that page of your life, and I've moved on. God is still, He's still on the throne, and He still loves you, and He still do any and everything for you. I have got to go now, so it's time for me to press that like a button thing. But before I go, remember that for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. So just relax, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, laugh up to yourself, live in the moment. But whatever you do, don't forget God. Later, pressing that like a button thingy. See you next time. Bye.